All right, we are live now, and hopefully it's recording through this microphone, that the blue snowball that I have in front of me. We will see if it does or if it doesn't. But yeah, we'll get this started. Let me just set up some settings. So I normally start this and then go back over to the Anchor website that I've been using to get more of the audio only. I don't know if there's a way to only get video and audio out of this, but we shall see. Let me get my notes ready to go. Welcome back to the Idols to Rivals podcast. This is episode number 26, and I am your host, Jack Hummell. That is at Jack Hummell with 2 M's, 2 L's on YouTube, on Instagram, on Twitter, all the main big ones. TikTok, haven't posted any TikTok videos yet, but we will. We will get around to it. But yeah, we're back, episode 26. We are also live, depending on what version you're listening to. There will be a YouTube video uploaded, and if you're watching the YouTube video, go check out the podcast. It is available on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and Android, whatever, Google Play. I don't know how many people still have Androids now, but it is available there if you want it. But yeah, so episode 26 is a little bit later. That's just kind of how this is going to go, and then I'll normally post a notification on Thursday morning, tomorrow morning, to let people know. But some big news, at least if you're a Nelk fan. Nelk went to University of Alabama this week to film. I saw some Snapchats from people that were with them. It looked like a lot of fun. They came, of course, during COVID and when the game was postponed. We were supposed to play LSU and an away game, so it was kind of poorly planned, but they still had a ball from what I saw, and it was crazy to see, like on a YouTube video with multiple millions of views and subscribers, to see the place that you went for 3.5 years and kind of see your old stomping ground. So that was really cool. Got to see that. Wish I could have been there to meet him. And another person challenge, Steve will do it. If you don't know who that is, he is quite a drinker. I think he's only like 21, but he used to post videos on Instagram of him just housing alcohol, whether it be a handle of Jack Daniels, which is still incredible. I don't know how that kid hasn't died yet, but more power to him. But if you're going to challenge the king, you got to come with fist flying. But yeah, it was cool. They've gone to a lot of campuses recently. I know they've went to like FSU. I think they went to Arizona State once. But yeah, hitting all the good spots, all the fun spots. And it's exciting. It's cool seeing your school get a national, I wouldn't say national attention, but like worldwide attention, even though it's Alabama. So, and FSU and ASU, all these schools that are known around the world, and they're always primetime games and things like that. It is just cool to see like some of your favorite YouTubers at your old stomping ground that's super close to where you used to live or used to hang out, the bars you used to go to. So it was super cool. Like I said, I kind of missed an opportunity going there, but had to work. And like I said, they said once in their video that they were going to go down there the next week, but I thought because the game got canceled, and you'll even hear it if you watch the video when they're picking up girls. He's like, "Oh, you ready for the game tomorrow or whatever?" And it's like, well, the game that got canceled, and it kind of tore it apart. But in any regard, I don't know if you guys have been on TikTok recently, but there's been this trend going around where there was this video of this boat chase. It's like a full-blown boat chase, and you can see there's like a fishing boat, center console with a roof on it, and then you just see this obvious police boat come up hot, and they just start doing donuts around each other, chasing each other. And I don't know if it's a joke or I don't know if this is what other people are experiencing, but ever since I liked that photo, all I'm getting is on TikTok is cartel stuff, is people hiding from police, certain paraphernalia and things, and stash houses and whatnot. And I'm also getting the police side. I saw a video of a police officer in either Mexico or Italy. I couldn't understand what different Spanish he was speaking. I couldn't tell if it was Spain Spanish or Mexican Spanish. And but yeah, I couldn't tell, but I was getting both sides. There was one video where this guy was sitting there. Think about, you're on the side of a hill, right? And there's kind of a road that's below you, and you're in the bushes, and you just see these troops drive by, and he's in a bush, and he just zooms in on the guy just sitting there holding their guns, just kind of trotting around. So it's been crazy. And all the comments on TikTok have been like, okay, ever since I liked that video of the boat chase, I've been getting all sorts of these videos from like Colombia, Mexico, all these places. And it's been wild. I don't know if TikTok's going to take care of that. But I think it is absolutely hilarious, and it's what the world needed. You know, it's kind of see how things roll. And then these guys are fully showing like their face, their buddy's face, and things like that. And not only would I be worried about the police officers finding you, but more of your fellow narcotics specialist, I should say, finding you and finding out that you're posting videos on TikTok. Then these videos aren't something to laugh about. These are videos that are getting millions of views and hundreds of thousands of likes. So I don't know. Maybe it'll come back. Maybe it'll come back around. Maybe not. Maybe these guys will get famous and they won't have to live that life anymore, which would be absolutely hilarious. I mean, we saw what happened with the cranberry juice guy who was what was he, longboarding down an exit ramp on the highway, and now he's getting sponsored. I saw him hanging out with Snoop Dogg, and now he gets sponsorship. And that kind of segues into the one thing I really wanted to talk about was we live in this crazy time where you are one piece of content away from your life absolutely changing. And the I think it's like 420 Dogface something or other is his username on TikTok. But this guy, he's got a head tattoo of a feather, kind of like an Indian headdress. And he films one video of him drinking cranberry juice, listening to music on his longboard, and now he's got cars and sponsorship deals. Yeah, it may burn out and flare out pretty quickly, kind of like the Damn Daniel guy or one of the many internet trends, but that's not the point. The point is you can leverage that into anything. And that's kind of the double-edged sword of the internet is you're one piece of content away from doing something great and your life changing for the better or for the worst. And I think we've seen a lot for the worst recently. And I think cancel culture, I've talked about this on other podcasts. I think cancel culture is on its way out. I think people are done with it, realizing that you can't come after people that were like 10 years old when they tweeted something, or you can't come after people that didn't know about certain things, that whatever rule was made up. And then 5 years later, you're like, oh, well, you said, well, things change, people change. And I think that as the majority of people realize, hey, the people that kind of started it with the cancel culture is now it's coming back full circle and realizing that all these standards of perfection that no one can live up to, it just because you're an internet celebrity or a celebrity in general doesn't mean you can stand up to it. And I think that that's kind of coming to an end, but it is crazy. I mean, think about our grandparents. You have what, maybe a couple dozen photos of your grandparents and things like that. Now we're going to have videos. We're going to have podcasts. We're going to have pictures, obviously Instagrams. There's this great meme back in the day of our pictures of our grandma, and it's like it's those classic like silhouettes where she's sitting up straight. It's like a blue cloudy background and she's just smiling to the camera, and then it's like photos of when we're grandparents, and it's like just a straight thirst trap ass pic. And I think that that's going to be an interesting dynamic 80 years down the line when it comes to that. But we might even be well past that to where there's something else besides the internet that's faster and changes the world as we know it. But I think that it's kind of funny to think about how we really have the opportunity to do anything and blow up. Like I said, the one-hit wonders of the world, or the ones that have turned it into something, or the fact that if you post videos all the time, get better at that and continue to grow, you can explode and your whole life can change and it could turn into that. And so I think that that's a really cool feeling to have. And also you just got to take it with a grain of salt and realize that you're not going to be perfect, and things will get better, things will get worse, but always trying to evolve. And that's kind of, like I said, a sobering thought to think that we live in a generation where that could happen. And I hate the whole this generation, that generation conversation, but we really do live in a generation where anything can happen future wise, and creating your own destiny. Like whenever people were going off to war, whether it be World War I, World War II, or the draft, or Vietnam, it wasn't really like, no, I'm going to chill at home and, make TikToks or record videos of myself or record a podcast or things like that. It didn't work like that. It was, all right, you drafted and you're going, or you're paying a hefty fine, or you're serving jail time for not doing it. So you couldn't really create your own future, create your own luck, as Rob Dyrdek would say. But it's intoxicating that we have that ability to create that and to start from where we want to start from, wherever we got. I mean, you can start with anything. You can get like a ring light over here. You can get a ring light for $15 on Amazon. It'll be here in 2 days. You can get a microphone for $30 and just kind of go with it. This is things that back in the day, you'd have to go through a studio. And that's just equipment to film it, not to mention distributing it, not to mention, like I said, sending it out to people and getting a base, for people watching it, an audience. And so it's kind of crazy that we can all do this, whether or on your phone. I mean, this thing right here, this thing can change everything for you. It can change who you talk to, where you live, what you do for a living. your social circle, your environment. You can create a business off of it today, right now, in the next 30 minutes before you go to sleep. You can create a business. You could get a post on Instagram that blows up and get sponsored, or become an ambassador, or brand deals, anything like that. And you can kind of create where you want to go. And that's just such a cool feeling. I think there was something I read where it was like, the phone in your pocket is like 20 times, 100 times, whatever X more powerful than the computers that brought us to the moon, which is a wild thing to think about, that people were launched into space and gone however distance it was in 1969 to the moon, and came back with something that couldn't even load a web page. It's kind of a crazy thought to think about. But yeah, that's what I was thinking about earlier today, was when I was trying to write down topics for this podcast. Just, you're one piece of content away. You're one good Instagram post. You're one tweet away from showing up on Ellen, and then you have a sneaker deal, or then you have a clothing line deal, or a perfume deal, or you become that world-renowned artist that you wanted because you posted a picture on Instagram and a celebrity bought it and posted it for a photo, and just randomly you're in the background. Next thing you know, you're selling stuff for $100,000 pop. It's kind of a crazy idea. I don't think it's talked about enough. We see the negative side, like I said, with all cancel culture and things like that, but it really is cool that we can create whatever we want to, whether it be videos, whether it be becoming the best professor in the world, whether it be being the best singer. It's kind of up to you and the market, obviously, to create what you want. And so I think a big thing in that is this audiobook that I'm listening to is talking about your goals versus your values. And so this was something that I hadn't really thought about for a while. I'd always had goals, like set realistic goals. I think it was SMART goals. It's like specific, measurable, and ART stands for something, and reasonable, time limit, or something like that. And it's like setting goals that you can achieve that kind of push you out of your comfort zone, but also have a time limit on it. So that's when you can have a metric of, okay, I got X done in this amount of time. So that means I got it done. And using those, it was kind of, I heard what they said was living a life where you only, oh, my light is flickering. Might be giving out, like I said, that $15 I spent, might be getting another one, but it was about living a life where you're chasing goals is only so satisfying, but living a life for your values is what creates actual satisfaction. And the difference, they said, was goals are obviously, okay, I want to be able to bench press 285 pounds for 3 reps. That's a goal. A value is I'm going to be relentless in my pursuit of achieving those goals. Or I want to make X amount of money by my 3rd year at this company. And then a value is I'm going to be innovative. And innovation is my value. And so using those kind of as markers, it was saying, let's say you wanted to climb Mount Everest and you're focused on getting to the top of Mount Everest. Okay, well, one guy is focused on goals. His goal is to get to the top of Mount Everest. One guy is focused on his values. His values are determination, challenges, adventure. And if you focus on that goal and you don't reach it, then you're like, oh, I just ruined that climb. That climb was not worth my time. I didn't reach my goal. It's utter failure. If you focus on your values, you're like, did I seek adventure? Yes. Did I challenge myself? Yes. Is this a new experience? Yes. And then you can use that as, okay, well, I'll get it on the next climb, but I still achieved and lived a life through my values. And so that was kind of a big mental shift. Obviously, goals are still super important, but that was a huge mental shift for me, where it's like, okay, let's be like, mindfulness is one that I've been trying to do with meditation over the past 2 years now, that I've been trying to, and 2 years is a loose term because it's been kind of off and on, but using that mindfulness of like, okay, like I had to pack for 3 different things. That's why you might be able to see my suitcase behind me if you're watching the version on YouTube. But it's focusing on the small things. It's like, okay, we'll focus on, instead of focusing on, oh my God, I have to pack all this stuff for 3 days or for work or for working out or a kickball game or going on a trip. It's like, okay, let's think about, oh, look at this outfit. How good is this outfit going to look? Oh, perfect. That's packed. I can't wait to wear that. Oh, I need this. Oh, I can't wait to go on that run that I'm going to do whenever I get there. Things along that. And just being mindful of the small things, because even the small things, whenever you're sitting there dying on your deathbed at 99 years old, and then you turn 100, because I feel like 99, that's actually terrible if you barely make it. But also 99 years is pretty good. Anyway, irrelevant. It is appreciating the small things, because most of life is the small things. Most of life is the steps getting to your goal. And so doing that and focusing on the small things gets you, instead of appreciating the last 20% of something where it's like, okay, you work, and you get your goal. You get to appreciate 100% of it. You get to appreciate the beginning steps. You get to appreciate the 7 views on a video, or you get to appreciate no one really likes your art yet. You haven't got that your style down and things like that. It's appreciating, okay, I mixed these 2 paints together. I did horrible. This looks terrible. I don't like it. On to the next. And it's appreciating all that. It's just the small things. Cause then, like I said, you get, instead of enjoying the 20% where you get your goal, it's you enjoy the 100% of the process and the actual achieving of the goal. And so I take it with a grain of salt every time I try something new, or every time I hear a thought that I really like. I try to not debunk it, but I try to get as much out of it as I can. But also I have this I wouldn't say problem, but I have, normally when I hear a new thought, like if I hear it in a book or somebody I respect, I'm immediately like, that's 100% true. That's fact. But so I've been trying to listen to these things, take as much as I can, but also reel it in and bring it in with what I believe, and kind of mesh the 2 ideas together. And I think that is one of the most powerful ways to learn, is not taking everything as law as soon as you hear it. If it comes from a substantial source, if it comes from a published book, if it comes from whatever, with authority, the authority bias, and just taking that for what it's worth. And so once you hear that, if you hear something that you completely agree with, we'll be like, okay, let's implement this. But let's be a little skeptical about it. Not 100%. You can't live like that. Just have a little bit of it, and you'll understand and take the parts that you agree with. And I'm not saying only agree or only take parts you agree with, because changing your mind is one of the coolest things in the world. When you're dead set on an opinion and then you go, wait, I was actually wrong. And then you level yourself up to where, okay, now I can use this in the future, and now I can become a better person and work harder, or work faster or smarter. And it just turns into this thing where you're evolving. It's kind of like leveling up your character in a video game. It's okay, let me work on this. Let me work on my fitness. I learned a little bit more about this. Let me work on my mental health, or my spiritual health, or whatever it is, or my financial health, my financial standing. It's taking those ideas that you didn't initially agree with, and then bringing towards a place where you can get to an understanding and grow and evolve. And that's the biggest thing, is living up to potential. And I think David Goggins was the one that's talking about, he goes, my only goal is if God or whatever's up there has a line where he's like, okay, he's going to achieve 300 things. He goes, I want to go up there when I'm done, and I want to achieve 400 things. It's like outliving your potential is what drives him. And that's part of his value set, that is what drives him every day. He goes, okay, if I think I can do 100 push-ups, I'm going to do 120. If I think I can run 100 miles, I'm going to run 120. And he does these things. He runs 200 miles. It's insane. The human mind is obviously the greatest thing on the planet. And the consciousness that comes with it is absolutely crazy. But yeah, I think we're going to wrap this one up a little shorter. I appreciate you guys for listening. If you're on the YouTube, if you're on the YouTube, I sound like an 80-year-old woman. If you're on YouTube, if you could like and subscribe, we just passed 30 subscribers. I'm super pumped. We just uploaded another vlog too. So if you want to go check that out and leave a comment and like it, I'd really appreciate it. And we have another vlog coming soon. And now we're kind of getting the swing of things, kind of getting the camera out. We've kind of got past that awkward stage, which I'm super excited about. And the future is looking bright as always. But I have been your host at Jack Hummell on Twitter, Instagram, YouTube. So like I said, and if you're on Apple Podcasts or Spotify, if you could follow the podcast or leave it 5 stars respectively, that'd be great. I really appreciate it. And I appreciate everybody for reaching out and talking to me about it. And like I said, we'll have more guests coming on soon. It's just been kind of a crazy couple of weeks with the holidays coming up, but we'll have more time for it in the next coming weeks, and we'll get more people on, and we'll just have a good time and just continue to evolve. And so remember, attack everything and get after it. And one more thing. So if you're watching on, or if you're listening on the podcast on Spotify, we do what's called After Hours, where it's just the live stream. And so if you want to come check it out, make sure you check out the YouTube video, and you'll get to hear a little bit more insight about what I'm thinking and things along that nature. But on that note, have a great week. And like I said, attack everything and fear nothing. Get after it. Okay, guys, After Hours. I like this hat though. Ooh, I ain't even gonna tell you about that yet. But yeah, so that's what I was talking about. I'm still pissed about the Nelks stuff. I wish I was there. I wish I would have met them and been able to help them out on a video or a prank or anything like that. One of my buddies who's down there got to film them while they were at one of the newer bars that that's been popping. So it's really cool. I'm really excited about it. The video was cool. If you haven't checked it out, I think it's called like Picking Up Hot Girls at Alabama. Very generic title, but it gets the point across. But yeah, so like I said, new YouTube video just came out. I can't wait for you guys to see it. I'm doing more and more, getting more comfortable with it, and it's getting a lot easier, and I'm super pumped about it. Just trying to get that authenticity, you know. And it can be tough to bring across on camera, but once you get it, it's gonna be flying by. And like I said, just think about establishing your goals versus your values, because it's something that really I can get tied up in my head a lot. I do a lot of thinking, which is good, because that means my brain's fucking working. but I do a lot of thinking and can get tied up in my head and get analysis paralysis, which I think is one of my biggest downfalls. And so it's been kind of getting off the hook of thinking too much and hearing those negative voices of don't do this, don't do that, don't go work out, don't post this video, and just getting your goals and values set. Because like they were saying, it's such a paradigm shift for me. It was just don't go after your goals as hard as you can, but live a life where if you're following your values, then everything will be a success. And that's the true definition of success. And I believe it. And that's how I'm living at the moment. And until I find something better, that's how I'm going to be. But I appreciate you guys for watching. If you could like and subscribe, I really appreciate it. And we'll see you in the next one. Peace.